Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig into the nitty-gritty of company filings, and this one might have some juicy severance packages to unpack. Get ready because we're about to decode an amendment to a recent report from Ring Energy Incorporated, and it is all about how they're handling executive departures and their related costs. Before we dive in, if you love getting these kinds of straightforward insights into what companies are really up to, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description below, where we break down these filings even further. So, Ring Energy Incorporated, or RI, as they're known on the stock market, has filed an amendment to an earlier report. Think of it as adding a postscript to a letter, clarifying or adding new information that is important. The main point of this amendment is to update us on how they've settled things with a recently departed executive. This filing section deals with changes in leadership. Specifically, it talks about Travis T. Thomas, who had been the Chief Financial Officer. We already knew he resigned back on the 12th of September, 2025. What is new and important here is the agreement they reached with him after his departure. On the 2nd of October, a few weeks after he officially stepped down, Mr. Thomas and Ring Energy Incorporated finalized a deal. This is a pretty standard practice. When an executive leaves, especially at this level, there is often a formal agreement to make sure everything is settled, and both sides are clear on what is next. And here is where it gets interesting for us. The agreement lays out what Mr. Thomas will receive. First, a significant cash payment of over $1 million. That is a hefty sum, paid out pretty quickly after the agreement is finalized, minus the usual taxes. On top of that, he'll get his health insurance premiums covered through Cobra for 18 months. That is a good chunk of time to ensure he has medical coverage while he figures out his next steps. And finally, and this is common for executives, some of his stock options or other equity awards that weren't fully vested will now become vested immediately. This is often part of the compensation package to help retain executives and align their interests with shareholders. The idea is that even if they leave, they still benefit from their contributions that led to company growth. Now, what does Ring Energy Incorporated get out of this? In exchange for that generous package, Mr. Thomas essentially signs away his right to sue the company or its related entities. He also agrees to keep company information confidential, return any company property, and not badmouth the company publicly. This is all about managing risk for the company and ensuring a clean break. There is a standard 7-day window where Mr. Thomas can change his mind. If he revokes the release, the whole agreement becomes void. This is a legal safeguard, but it is rare for an executive to back out once they've signed, especially given the financial benefits they're receiving. They're telling us that this is just a summary. For all the exact legal wording, you'd need to look at the full agreement filed as an exhibit. This section is all about the paperwork that supports the report. Since this is an amendment, it is mainly about including any new documents. And here it is, the actual general release agreement dated the 2nd of October 2025, signed by Travis T. Thomas. This is the detailed contract that spells out all the terms we just discussed. It is Exhibit 10.1, which usually means it is an important material contract. And Exhibit 104 is just a technical file format for making the filing computer readable. Nothing too exciting there for us analysts. Now, we get to the end of the filing where the company officially signs off. The report is signed on behalf of Ring Energy Incorporated on the 3rd of October 2025 by Paul D. McKinney, who is the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer. This confirms that the company's top leadership is aware of and stands by this amendment. So, let S put on our Warren Buffett hats for a moment. What does this tell us about Ring Energy Incorporated? On the surface, a severance package of over $1 million plus benefits might seem high. However, this is fairly typical for a chief financial officer exiting a company. The key here is the general release component. It means Mr. Thomas is satisfied enough with the package that he is willing to waive all potential claims against the company. This reduces future legal risk for Ring Energy Incorporated, which is a significant benefit. The accelerated vesting of equity awards suggests the company values his past contributions and wants to ensure he leaves on good terms, potentially preserving positive relationships in the industry. From a financial perspective, this payment is a one-time expense. While it impacts the cash flow for the period it is paid, it is not indicative of underlying operational struggles unless the company consistently sees large executive departure payouts. The critical question is always, was the performance leading up to this departure worth the cost of the exit? We don't have enough financial table analysis directly in this specific amendment to make a judgment on the company. Broader health, as the focus here is purely on the executive exit. However, a strong operational performance leading to valuable equity awards for executives can justify such payouts. The direction for Ring Energy Incorporated seems to be about maintaining stability and managing executive transitions smoothly, even when they involve significant financial commitments. The risk here lies in how a departure of a CFO impacts ongoing operations and investor confidence, especially if the company's financial reporting is complex, or if there are ongoing market uncertainties. An opportunity might be the fresh perspective a new CFO could bring. The crucial takeaway is that while the number is large, the company seems to have navigated this departure in a structured and legally sound manner, aiming to avoid future disputes. Alright, that is our breakdown of this amendment from Ring Energy Incorporated. What is your take on these executive severance packages? Do you think they re-fair compensation for the role, or just part of the corporate games? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out. And of course, subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. Don't forget to join our Discord community in the description for more in-depth discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.